price up out to the PlayStation Indies PSN sale. This is an absolutely massive sale. There's a ton of games for you to look at, and you can save over £410 in the discounts I found. So I hope you're ready to see a load of cool games for very cheap prices. Subscribe if you never want to miss out on another deal again. You're welcome here anytime. Okay, this sale ends on the 23rd of March, so that'll be your last day to pick up these deals. Let's look at the games. Up first is 1976 Back to Midway. It was released in 2021, so it's only a year old, and it's on at least a 50% discount for the price of £7.99 or £6.39 with PS Plus, which is a really great deal for a VR game. This scrolling shooter game has move controller support, and it's a modern take on the old school series, where you get to play the classic 2D gameplay with newly added immersion zones where you take control inside the aircraft cockpit, which is awesome, especially if you've got a PSVR headset. This game features 16 story levels, 64 missions, 24 immersion zones, and 200 upgrades. Now this really surprised me because this old school series has been going a while, but for them to do a VR version of it is really innovative, and I mean that. They don't shake up legendary series like this very often, so for them to go out on a limb and do a VR version adds so much more to the game experience, and I think it's a really cool idea. If you're a fan of this series, or side-scrolling shooters, or you like the sound of it in VR, definitely take a look at it, because it's a very different game, and they should be rewarded for trying something different. More VR next, a Fisherman's Tale Deluxe Edition. It was released in 2020, so it's 2 years old, and it's on a 60% discount for the price of £6.39, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal, especially for a VR game. And this edition includes the soundtrack and a PS4 theme as well, so you get a little bit extra for your money as well. This is a VR puzzle game with move controller required, so if you don't have them you can't play it. In this 2019 VR Game of the Year winner, you play as a tiny fisherman puppet that receives a storm warning and now must make it to the top of the lighthouse by solving inventive, mind-blowing puzzles and turn on the light to save the day. It looks like a really cool mind-bending puzzle game, and these things are always way better in VR, so if you've got a PSVR headset and you're a fan of puzzles, you'll probably really enjoy this, and it's won so many awards that you should at least look at it if you're interested. Our next game is Aegis Defenders. It was released in 2018, so it's 4 years old, and it's on a 75% discount for the price of £3.99, which isn't bad. This is an action platformer mixed with tower defense, where you play as a team of ruin hunters searching for the only thing that can save their village, the legendary Aegis weapon, by exploring, building and defending in this unique game. So if you're a fan of puzzle platformers and tower defense, you might want to check it out. A cool little puzzle game next, Agent A, A Puzzle in Disguise. It was released in 2019, so it's 3 years old, and it's on at least a 75% discount for the price of £2.74 or £1.64 with PS Plus, which is a really great price. In this game, as a stylish secret agent, it is your mission to infiltrate the enemy spy Ruby LaRouge's secret hideout and put a stop to her evil plans. It features a quirky 1960s art style, 35 environments, 100 puzzles, and 50 puzzle screens. I really like the look of this game. You know I'm a fan of puzzle games, but the art style is cool, and the story of being a spy and breaking into a secret hideout just really appeals to me. I think it's a cool little puzzle game at a really good price, so if you're a fan of puzzle games, definitely take a look at this. I'm tempted myself. And if you've never played a puzzle game before, then I would definitely recommend this one. It's really quirky and intriguing, and it's really cheap as well. So if you're interested and you haven't played a puzzle game before, why not take a chance on this? You'll probably really enjoy yourself. Our next game is Among the Sleep Enhanced Edition. It was released in 2015, so it's 7 years old, and it's on at least a 65% discount for the price of £4.19 or £2.99 with PS Plus, which is pretty good, as this edition includes improved graphics, gameplay, new dialogue, level, a digital art book, soundtrack and more. So you do get quite a lot of extra content in this edition. In this horror game, you get to experience the world through the eyes of a 2-year-old child, with a vivid imagination that could easily scare the pants off you. Can you handle reliving your childhood fears? Well, you'll find out if you buy this game. I haven't played this game myself, but I've watched the Let's Play of it, and it's a pretty interesting horror game. The subject matter makes it quite creepy, and the story's actually really good. I definitely recommend it if you like horror games and you haven't played it before. And if you've never played a horror game before, This is a pretty decent one and it's at a really good price. So if you like the look of it, I would definitely recommend it. Check it out. I really love this next game, Apollo 11 VR. It was released in 2017, so it's 5 years old, and is on a 50% discount for the price of £4.74, which is really good. In this VR experience, you get to go on the entire Apollo mission from launch to docking to landing and walking on the moon. All with the actual NASA and astronaut radio chatter and interactive historical information on the lunar surface as well. So if you're a fan of the Apollo missions and you have a PSVR headset, you'll really enjoy this game. I've got it myself, and I absolutely loved it. The launch experience was really cool, and controlling the ship for docking in space was great and difficult. But not as difficult as landing the moon lander. God, that took me 45 minutes, and it was really difficult, but rewarding when I did it. I really don't envy the real astronauts. They only had one chance at it, and it's not easy. Anyway, this game's great, so if you've got a PSVR headset and you like the Apollo missions, definitely take a look at it. You'll really enjoy it. And if you don't have a PSVR headset or you haven't played a VR experience before, I'd recommend it. If you've got any interest in space, you'll probably enjoy yourself. So why not take a look? Archaica: The Path of Light is our next game. It was released in 2020, so it's only 2 years old, and it's on at least a 75% discount for the price of £3.74 or £2.24 with PS Plus, which is a really great deal for PS Plus members. In this puzzle game, you uncover an intriguing story, unveiled by collecting hieroglyphs or completing harder levels in this light beam based puzzler, where you must master different items to manipulate the coloured light beams and solve the puzzles. This looks like a really straightforward but decent puzzle game, and you know what that means. I'm tempted myself because I love puzzle games. So if you like puzzle games too, why not take a look at it? It looks like a decent game for a really cheap price. And if you've never played a puzzle game before, then you should take a look at this. It might not be the most exciting puzzle game, but it's at a really good discount, so you're not risking a lot if you're interested. Take a chance. Up next is Armicrog. It was released in 2016, so it's 6 years old, and is on an 80% discount for the price of £1.59, which is dirt cheap. This is a point-and-click adventure where you play as Tommy Naught and his blind alien dog Beak Beak, unraveling the mysteries of the fortress that holds them captive. It features unique claymation graphics, an all-star voice cast, and an original soundtrack by Terry Scott Taylor. So if you've ever seen movies like the Wallace and Gromit series or anything like that, that's claymation and that's the style they've used for this game. So it's very unique and visually appealing. If you're a fan of point-and-click adventures and you like the sound of this one, it's definitely got a different style to it, and it'll be very entertaining for you if you like that genre. We have a racing game next, Assetto Corsa Ultimate Edition. It was released in 2018, so it's 4 years old, and is on an 80% discount for the price of £6.99, which is really great, as this edition includes all the DLC and updates including car packs and expansions, so you get a huge amount of extra content for your money as well, which is great. In this game you get to drive over 178 cars on 16 legendary circuits such as the Nürburgring with 33 track configurations, so there's quite a lot of content included for this price, and there's a variety of car types to race as well. So if you're looking for a racing game, you get a lot for your money in this deal, which means you'll have a lot of fun as well. Take a look. Axiom Verge is our next game. It was released in 2016, so it's 6 years old, and it's on a 70% discount for the price of £4.49, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a pretty good deal. In this Metroidvania, after a lab accident, a scientist awakens in a mysterious alien world, and sets off to search a labyrinthine world to learn its secrets, find out where you are, and hopefully find a way home as well. If you're a fan of the old Metroid games, you'll really enjoy this. I mean, just by looking at it, it looks like a Metroid clone. It really does, because it is, which is great. So if you're a fan of Metroidvania, and especially the old Metroid games, you should definitely take a look at this game. I think you'll really enjoy it. And if you haven't played a Metroidvania before, then you might want to take a look at this game, but you can get other games cheaper than this, and they're AAA ones as well, so you've got plenty of options. So if you're not sure, don't worry about it. Take a look around or subscribe, and you won't miss them when they come on sale. We have an action RPG next, Bastion. It was released in 2015, so it's 7 years old, and it's on a 75% discount for the low price of £2.99, which is pretty good. In this game you control a kid, as he explores floating fantasy worlds, fighting enemies in a desperate attempt to collect the shards to power the Bastion, in the wake of an apocalyptic calamity, while a dynamic narrator describes your adventure. This game had rave reviews when it came out, and there's a good reason for that. It's an awesome game, with a really cool art style and a great narrator that's very unique and interesting as well. If you're a fan of top-down action RPGs, you'll really enjoy this game, so definitely check it out if you're a fan of the genre. And hey, if you've never played an action RPG like this before, then I would definitely recommend it. It's a great example of the genre, and it's a really cheap price, so definitely take a look at it if you're interested. You might find your new favourite genre. Up next is Blasters of the Universe. It was released in 2018, so it's 3 years old, and it's on at least a 60% discount for the price of £4.79 or £2.99 with PS Plus, which is pretty good. In this VR shooter where move controllers are required, this comedic VR bullet hell shooter requires you to duck and dodge through tons of enemies and hundreds of bullets. It features a campaign mode, challenge modes, online leaderboards, and weapon customizations as well. So if you have a PSVR headset and you like VR shooters, specifically arcadey style ones, then you might really enjoy this, especially if you enjoy the humour of it as well. So if you're interested by that, it's definitely worth checking out at least. And hey, if you've never played a VR shooter before, then you might want to look at it. It's at a really discount price, and it's a pretty good game as well. Well worth taking a look at if you're interested. Next up, we have Crypt of the Necrodancer. It was released in 2016, so it's 5 years old, and it's on an 80% discount for the low price of £2.59, which is really good. In this roguelike rhythm game, you must move to the music, deliver beatdowns to the beat, and the whole game is played to the rhythm of 5 selectable soundtracks, including one by Danny Baranowski. So this is a very unique game that you wouldn't have seen the sort of before, and it was very popular when it came out. People really loved it, and it's really different and unique. So if you like the sound of that, and you like roguelike games, why not check it out? And hey, if you've never played a roguelike before, then I'm not sure if I'd recommend this one, because it's very unique, and it relies a lot on your enjoyment of the music theme. So if you're not sure, then subscribe and we'll find you a roguelike in another sale instead. Darknet is our next game. It was released in 2017, so it's 5 years old, and it's on at least a 60% discount for the price of £3.59 or £2.24 with PS Plus, which isn't bad. This puzzle hacker game doesn't have move controller support, so you can play it with anything. And it doesn't really matter because move controller support wouldn't add much to the game, so don't worry about it. In this game, you play as an elite hacker contracted to retrieve data from the world's most secure networks, plug into the net and deploy viruses, inject code, and tunnel through companies' cybersecurity to complete your contracts and make a load of money. This game looks pretty cool, especially for the price, and people who always wanted to be a hacker will probably really enjoy this game. And if you're someone that likes puzzle games, this is a very different and unique VR one, so you might be very interested if you've got a PSVR headset. And hey, if you've never played a puzzle before, then I'm not sure if I'd recommend it for people as their first puzzle game, as it's pretty different and unique. But hey, it's good, and if you like the sound of it, you should take a look at it, at this price especially. Next up, we have Earth Knight. It was released in 2019, so it's 3 years old, and it's on an 85% discount for the price of £2.24, which is really great. In this procedurally generated platformer, it's set in a dystopian future set after the Dragon Apocalypse, where humans have been exiled to space. But Sydney and Stanley have had enough, as they skydive back to Earth, destroying as many dragons as they can along the way. So this is pretty simple and straightforward, and because it's procedurally generated, you get a different run each time. So it's basically designed on people that really like hectic platformers, and like to have a quick go and see how far they can get, or what score they can get as well. So if you like the sound of that, why not take a look at it? It's at a pretty good discount. And if you've never played a game like this before, then I'm not sure if I'd recommend it. It's not that complicated a game, and it really depends on how much you enjoy the mechanics of it. So if you're interested, then take a look, but make sure you check it out before you buy. More VR next. Form. It was released in 2020, so it's 2 years old, and it's on a 70% discount for the price of £3.59, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal, especially for a VR game. This is a VR puzzle game, where move controllers are required, so if you don't have them you can't play it. In this game, as Dr. Eli, you follow a mysterious signal into the obelisk, where you solve geometric puzzles, seeking to find a new existence within the obelisk. It looks like a really cool puzzle game, with some cool aesthetics and graphics. Probably not the best puzzle game around, but it looks good enough, and at this price, puzzle fans will probably get a lot of fun out of it, especially in VR, because puzzle games are made for VR, they really are. So if you have a PSVR headset, and you like puzzle games, you should definitely take a look at this. You might just enjoy it. We have another roguelike game next, Hand of Fate Deluxe Edition. It was released in 2017, so it's 5 years old, and is on an 80% discount for the price of £3.19, which is really great, as this edition includes the Wildcards DLC and the Murder at Sea update as well, so you are getting some decent DLC for your money as well. In this game you get to draw your cards and play your hand, as the cards create the dungeons and bestow your equipment upon you, with each playthrough being unique. Can you defy fate with the cards being dealt to you, and defeat the dealer? This is a really different and unique spin on a roguelike, and I really like it. The idea of having cards dealt to you, and having to play based on that, is really intriguing to me, as you have to make it work no matter what cards you're dealt. In any case, if you like the sound of this, definitely take a look at it. It was a big deal when it came out, and you can see why. It's very interesting. And hey, if you've never played a roguelike before, then I'm not sure if I'd recommend this one. It's a really decent one, but it depends how much you enjoy the idea of it, and only you'll be able to make that decision. So take a look at it, and you might enjoy yourself if you end up buying it. And on a side note, the sequel's also on sale as well, so if you've got the first one and you want the second one, take a look at that one instead. We have a Wild West game next, Hard West Ultimate Edition. It was released in 2020, so it's 2 years old, and it's on a 90% discount for the low price of £1.59, which is a phenomenal deal. Now, weirdly enough, I couldn't find out what the Ultimate Edition actually includes, so I assume it includes the DLC which you can buy, but I don't know. I couldn't find information on it anywhere. It's like they weren't even trying to sell the game or something. It was really weird. In any case, in this turn-based strategy game, tragedy sends a man down a supernatural path, where he must hunt down all those who wronged him and get his revenge. It features 8 story scenarios, 40 fights, and multiple endings based on your decisions in the game. This may not be a AAA game, but it looks like a really decent one, so if you're a fan of turn-based strategy games, you should definitely check this out. It looks like a decent game at a really great price. And hey, if you've never played a turn-based strategy game before, at this price, you might want to take a look at it. It may not be the best one ever made, but it's at a fantastic discount, so you're not risking a lot of money to take a chance on it. You might even enjoy yourself and find yourself your new favourite game genre, so why not take a look? Up next we have Intruders Hide and Seek. It was released in 2019, so it's 3 years old, and it's on a 90% discount for the low price of £1.59, which is really great. This is a horror game, where 3 intruders break into your house and take your parents hostage, and now it's up to you to avoid the intruders while trying to free your captured parents. This game is playable in stereoscopic 3D, which is a cool bonus for people that have a TV that can handle that. But more importantly, it has a VR mode, so you can play the entire game in VR, which makes this amazingly good value, and also a pretty cool experience for VR compared to normal play. So if you have a PSVR unit and you like these sorts of games, definitely pick it up for this price. And for anyone that doesn't have a PSVR unit, then why not check it out anyway, it's a really good deal. We have a story-driven adventure game next, Ken Follett's The Pillars of the Earth. It was released in 2017, so it's 5 years old, and it's on a 90% discount for the price of £3.49, which is a really great deal. This is a story-driven adventure based on the best-selling book, where you play through the events of the book surrounding the building of a cathedral in the 12th century England, where decisions in your gameplay allow you to change the story from the book and experience multiple different endings. So if you're a big fan of the book, you'll love this game. But if you're just a fan of story-based adventures, you'll get a lot out of this game as well. As it's based on a really popular franchise, you just know it'll be quality. In any case, it looks awesome, and at this price you can't go far wrong. Even if you've never played this sort of game before, you might want to take a look at it for this price. It might just end up being the best game you've played lately. Our next game is Lifeless Planet Premier Edition. It was released in 2016, so it's 6 years old, and it's on an 80% discount for the price of £3.19, which is really great, as this edition is remastered with new original audio and additional in-game text and audio logs as well. In this adventure game, you land on an alien planet that is supposed to be rich in life, but it turns out to be barren, with signs that humans have already been here before. Stalked by a mysterious figure, you must explore to find out where you are and what's going on. I really like the look of this little adventure game, and the story is really intriguing to me. I really think it'd be fun to explore and find out what's going on. So if you're as intrigued as me, then why not take a look at it? I think you'll really enjoy it. And if you've never played an adventure game like this before, then at this price you might want to take a chance, especially if you're intrigued by the story as I am. It looks like a really cool little game at a pretty decent price, so why not check it out? Another puzzle game next, Neon Wall. It was released in 2018, so it's 4 years old, and it's on a 75% discount for the price of £1.99, which is pretty good. In this game, which is Move controller compatible, you must try and escape from Neon Wall by overcoming challenging puzzle levels, focusing on a combination of skill, concentration, and precision to succeed. It features over 50 levels, runner, puzzle, and time trial modes, and it's also fully playable in VR as well. So if you've got a PSVR headset, you'll get a lot more out of this game than if you didn't. So if you like the idea of a puzzle game, where you have time trial modes that will give you a lot of replayability, or you've got a PSVR headset, you should definitely take a look at this. I think you'll really enjoy it. And if you've never played a puzzle game like this before, then at this price, you should take a look at it. It looks really good, and I think you'll really enjoy yourself. Why not give it a chance? We have a really cool puzzle platformer next, Never Alone Arctic Collection. It was released in 2015, so it's 7 years old, and it's on an 80% discount for the price of £3.19, which is really great, as this edition includes the extra DLC levels as well. So you get a lot of extra DLC for your money as well, which is great. This puzzle platformer follows the traditional Inupiaq tale of a young girl and fox as they search for the source of an eternal blizzard ravaging their village. It also includes documentary video and information regarding the story and Inupiaq people, so it's a very different and unique sort of experience. As this isn't just a good puzzle platformer game that I've completed myself and I absolutely loved it, but it's also trying to convey the culture of the people it's based on, which is a really cool idea, and I like that it offers more than just a game. This is a really cool little puzzle platformer, and I definitely recommend you check it out if you like those sorts of games. Up next is Never Out. It was released in 2018, so it's 4 years old, and is on a 90% discount for the low price of 64 pence, which is really great, especially for a VR game. This VR puzzle game supports Move controllers, but you don't need them to play it, although it's probably better to play it with them. It usually is with VR games. And in this game you have over 60 puzzles contained within a linked cube-shaped rooms to solve by manipulating gravity and avoiding a variety of obstacles. This game was definitely inspired by the cult classic movie Cube. It's not exactly a one-on-one copy, but the puzzles are in linked cubed rooms, so you get the idea. But apart from that, the gameplay is completely different than what it would be if it was a cube game. In any case, it looks pretty decent, and for 64 pence, I mean, you don't really have much better options than that really, especially when looking at VR games. So if you own a PSVR and you like puzzle games, why not pick this up? You've probably got more money than this under your seat cushion. We have an action-adventure game next, Pine. It was released in 2021, so it's only a year old, and is on at least an 80% discount for the price of £3.39 or £2.54 with PS Plus, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal. In this game, to find a new home for your tribe, you must explore the open world of Alpamare. It features trading, crafting, 6 biomes, a living dynamic world, all of which affect the ecology of Alpamare as well. So it's supposed to be a really cool living world for you to explore, and it looks a bit Zelda-y in the way it plays, which is great, because that's a great game to be emulating. So if you like the look of this open world action adventure, I definitely recommend it. It looks really great to me, and I think people would enjoy playing it. And hey, if you've never played a game like this before, then at this price, it looks like you're getting a really good game for your money. So if you're interested, I would definitely say take a look at it. You might really enjoy yourself if you pick it up. We have a puzzle platformer next, Pinstripe. It was released in 2018, so it's 4 years old, and it's on an 80% discount for the price of £1.73, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really awesome deal. This is another puzzle platformer, where you play as Teddy, an ex-minister forced to travel through the frozen afterlife, looking for his 3-year-old daughter Bo. It promises an emotional story as you uncover the secrets of Teddy's past. I do like a good puzzle platformer, and this looks like a pretty decent one, with a very unique art style. Anyone who's a fan of this genre should definitely take a look at it, and if you've never played one of these games before, then at this price you might want to take a look at it. Up next is Planet of the Eyes. It was released in 2017, so it's 5 years old, and it's on a 90% discount for the price of 79 pence, which is a really great discount. In this puzzle platformer, you play a stranded service robot on a mysterious planet. You explore the planet, finding logs from your creator to uncover the purpose behind your creation, while hopefully finding a way to escape the planet as well. This doesn't look like the best puzzle platformer I've ever seen, but hey, at this price, you get what you pay for, and this looks decent enough. For anyone that loves these games, it's worth a look at. But for anyone else, there's definitely better examples to look at instead. Up next is my star by Red Matter. It was released in 2018, so it's 4 years old, and is on at least a 75% discount for the price of £6.24 or £3.74 with PS Plus, which is the cheapest I've ever seen here, and a really awesome deal for such a great quality VR game. In this story-driven VR puzzle game, where move controllers are required, so if you don't have them you can't play it, is set in a dystopian sci-fi Cold War, where you are astronaut Agent Epsilon, dispatched to one of the Saturn moons to investigate an abandoned shady enemy research base, solving puzzles to uncover the dark secrets of the facility. I really love the look of this game. I've been waiting for it to go on this sort of a sale for ages. I think this is the sort of game the VR was made for. It's got a cool story, you get to explore a cool place with loads of VR puzzles and interactions. This is the dream come true for me. I really like this sort of VR game, and it looks like a really good quality one as well. It's my star buy. Hands down, if you've got a PSVR headset and you like adventure or puzzle games, you should definitely take a look at this at least. And if you've never played a game like this before in VR, this is a really great one at a really great price. It's my star buy for a reason. If you're in any way interested, or maybe if you're not as well, why not take a look at it? I think you'll really enjoy this game. It's well worth taking a look at least. Check it out. Silence is our next game. It was released in 2016, so it's 6 years old, and it's on a 90% discount for the low price of £1.59, which is really great. In this point-and-click adventure, you and your little sister hide in a bomb shelter from the war outside, but soon find the crossroads to another world that your sister vanishes into, and now you must journey into silence to find her. This looks like a really cool point-and-click adventure with a pretty intriguing story, so if you're a fan of that genre, why not take a look at it? You might enjoy this one. But if you've never played one of these before, then I'm not sure I'd recommend them. Point-and-click adventures are very unique and very niche, and they're well known for having very obtuse or confusing puzzles, which really annoy or put off most people. So if you're not familiar with this genre, then just beware you might not like it. But in any case, if you want to try it, why not take a look at it? It looks like a decent example of the genre at a really good price. It might just be worth the risk for you, so why not check it out? We have a racer next, Snow Moto Racing Freedom. It was released in 2017, so it's 5 years old, and is on an 80% discount for the price of £1.99, which is pretty good. This racing game features over 40 challenging courses, 12 snowmobiles, 18 championship career modes, local and online multiplayer, and plenty of stunts and tricks to use while racing. I have to say you don't see many snowmobile racing games, and for this price, it looks like a really good one. And let's be honest, you don't have many options. But hey, if you're into this sort of racer, you'll probably really enjoy this, especially at this price as well worth taking a look at. And if you've never played a snow racer like this before, then again at this price, it's well worth the money and you might want to check it out. So if you're interested, why not take a look? It looks like great fun to me. I really love this next game, Static. It was released in 2017, so it's 5 years old, and it's on a 70% discount for the price of £3.59, which is really great, especially for a VR game. In this VR puzzle game, which has no move controller support, which doesn't matter because it's a theme of the game that you need the controller, so don't worry about it. You are the subject of an experiment, sat in different locations with your hands trapped in a puzzle box that resembles the controller, and you must solve these puzzle boxes in order to help the researchers and ultimately work out the purpose of the study and why you are there. This was one of the first VR puzzles I ever played, and I loved it. It's absolutely great. It works really well in VR, as it works around being sat in a stationary place, and the puzzle boxes emulate holding a controller. It was really smartly done, and it's a lot of fun. As someone who enjoys puzzles, I really enjoyed this game, and the story was quite intriguing as well. Highly recommended if you like VR puzzle games. Well worth taking a look at, I think. And hey, if you've never played a VR puzzle game before, this is an awesome one. Like I said, I've played it and I loved it. At this price, I'd recommend it to anyone that's in any way interested in VR puzzle games. so if that's you, you should definitely take a look at it. You might end up loving VR puzzle games as much as I do. We have an action platformer next, The Adventure Pals. It was released in 2018, so it's 4 years old, and it's on an 80% discount for the low price of £2.39, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a pretty decent deal. In this action platformer, you set out to save the world with your best friends, a giraffe and a rock. You get to explore 5 unique areas, with items to collect and unlock accessories, and it also includes 2-player local co-op as well, which is very unusual these days, and a definite selling point. I love co-op games, I wish they'd make more of them. So if you like action platformers, and you have a partner or a kid that likes playing games with you, then this is a really great game to pick up, and it's at a good discount as well. I would definitely say take a look at it in that case. And hey, if you haven't played an action platformer before, this is a pretty decent one, at a good price, so if you're tempted, why not take a look at it? You'll probably have a good time. A phenomenal puzzle game next, The Great Perhaps. It was released in 2020, so it's 2 years old, and is on at least a 50% discount for the price of £3.99 or £2.39 with PS Plus, which is a great deal for PS Plus users. In this game, an astronaut returns to Earth, finding it devastated by a global cataclysm. Amongst the ruins, you find a lantern that offers glimpses of the past, allowing you to travel through time on your journey to find the cause of Earth's fate and try and undo it. This game got rave reviews when it came out. People say it's one of the best puzzle games made recently, and it looks awesome too. If you're a fan of puzzle games, especially ones with a cool story, I think you'll really enjoy this game, especially at the discounted price. Definitely take a look at it if you like the sound of that. And hey, if you've never played a puzzle game before, then this is a fantastic place to start. I would definitely recommend it, especially at this price. Why not check it out? You'll probably be doing yourself a favour. We have an isometric RPG next, The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing 3. It was released in 2020, so it's 2 years old, and it's on an 80% discount for the price of £2.39, which is a really great price. In this game, the city of Bulgovia is in ruins, full of factions fighting for power, with rumours prophesying the end of times. So Van Helsing must gear up and hunt a former ally turned arch-villain, who is now the most dangerous monster who ever lived. Be careful which version of this game you pick up, because there's 2 other versions, and all they include is some DLC weapons, which I don't think is worth paying more money for. I mean, it's up to you, but I think this is the best version, just the box standard one. In any case, these games are from a great series of isometric RPG games. They were all really well received, and people really like them. So if you're a fan of that genre, you should definitely take a look at these. They're great, and I think you'll have a lot of fun with them. The action looks fantastic in them. And if you've never played an isometric RPG before, then at this price, it's not a bad place to start. Like I said, they're great games. And this one's on a really good discount, so you might want to take a look at it. You'll probably enjoy yourself a lot if you pick it up. And on a side note, the other 2 are also on sale, so if you want to start at the beginning, or you want to pick up the lot, they're all there for you to take a look at, so that's up to you if you're interested. Check them out. Up next is a roguelike, The Long Journey Home. It was released in 2018, so it's 4 years old, and it's on a 90% discount for the low price of £1.59, which is a fantastic deal. In this game, mankind's first experimental jump drive malfunctions on its maiden test flight, and now you and your crew are stranded across the galaxy. So it's up to you to explore and scavenge the resources and help you need in order to make it safely back to Earth. Yeah, they've ripped off the story from Farscape, but hey, that's not a bad idea. That's a great TV series, watch it if you haven't and you like sci-fi, trust me, you'll love me for it. In any case, back to the game. I really like the idea of this roguelike. It looks really cool to me, and if you like sci-fi games, I think you'll really enjoy playing it, so why not take a look at it in that case. And hey, if you've never played a roguelike game before, then I would definitely recommend this one, especially if you like sci-fi games and themes. You'll probably really enjoy it, so in that case, why not check it out, if you like the sound of it. And the final game I have for you is a blast from the past, ToeJam and Earl Back in the Groove. It was released in 2019, so it's 3 years old, and it's on a 75% discount for the price of £3.24, which is pretty good. In this roguelike, which is a sequel to the legendary Mega Drive game, and comes from the same co-creator as well, you once again play the famous duo who crash land on Earth once again, and now you must find all their crashed spaceship parts to launch back into space and carry on your journey. I know this is a sequel, but it's very similar to the original game, So if you're a fan of the original Mega Drive game, then you'll absolutely love this game. And if you've never heard of the original game, then you might like this game, but it's definitely very retro, so be careful before you pick it up. You might not enjoy it so much, although it is a great game, so it's well worth checking out if you like old school games especially. And hey, if you've never played a roguelike game before, then I don't think I'd recommend this one to start with. It's a very niche game, and I'm not sure everybody would enjoy it as much. So in that case, take a look around, or subscribe, and you will find you a roguelike in the next sale instead. And that's all the games I have for you for the PlayStation Indies PSN sale. I hope you appreciate this because there was a ton of games in this sale, and it took forever to go through it. But in any case, what did you think of the games I picked? Did I pick good ones or did I pick bad ones? And what about the Star Buy? Did it deserve it or should something else have got it instead? Let me know in the comments and we can argue about it later. But in any case, I hope you guys found some games you're interested in. But more importantly, I hope you guys saved a lot of money. I'll see you guys in the next sale. Hoil Vour.